Okay, so I'm going to be doing a video review of Supercrusher now. He is a starting DPS for us, and this is Temple of Anubis for our scrim. So right off the bat, obviously, Torb is a questionable pick in almost any situation, but we'll see how it works out. I would not say it's awful pick, but it's definitely questionable in most situations. It's a really good turret location up there. Tanks are a little far back, or at least hiding velocities right now. Right down this line. Here's where Chiefy actually makes a really good call. He just says, run through right side and wall it off. So here's where I think it's really questionable from Supercrusher. He sees we're going there, so he proceeds to follow us up the staircase all the way up and around. Okay? But as he does this, we are already... So he's going to follow us. He's going to go on a long flank. As you can see, he's doing nothing. He's doing no poke. And by the time he reaches us, we've already got it killed. We've already dropped down. Now he just has to rush in after us. The fight's already lost. Now, I'm not going to say that they would win if they have him the whole time, but it's essentially a 5v6 when we drop down because he's on one flank. Now he's going to stay on here because he has the Molten Core, which is fine. Again, it's pretty good turret placement. Doesn't get any poke in, but that's probably fine. So Team 2 is going to wrap around the attacking left side this time. And once again, Supercrusher is going to go on that flank. And this time because they use the Grav and the Molten Core. Without the Molten Core here, I think that this flank fails, and it's potentially a wipe and a 5-minute time bank for Team 2. But he has the Molten Core here. It's a questionable flank again. It works out this time. And so he is now going to switch off to Junkrat, I believe. Yes, he goes Junkrat. Because it's a long sightline. I would even say Widow would be pretty good here because you already have the Pharah. But with this long sightline, and when you enter, it's pretty close corridors. These Junkrat grenades do a lot of damage, and they do splash damage. So you just shoot them at the enemy team in the general area, and you're doing damage. We're, I believe, gonna go. Widow there from bottom A. We are gonna go attack the right side. We get the medium pick, but a huge shatter from Hydrofrost will essentially give this win to They are trading, but Supercrusher does do a lot of damage here. Gets quite a few kills. He does end up going down, but the fight is already long won. He has his ultimate now, and if you look at this, it's really weird, because Team 2 will win this fight, I believe, but Team 1 has Riptire, Coalescence, Graviton Surge, and Barrage, whereas Team 2 basically has Coalescence, Earth Shatter, and Death Blossom. This should be a one fight for Team 1, because even with even ultimates, as you can see, Supercrusher spawns right here, and the point is right about there when he just walks around the corner. So the respawns are so much faster, because you can see way out in the distance, right about there is where Team 2 is spawning. So even with about equal ultimates, this should favor Team 1. Now, we're going to see what happens here. And Bob May is going to switch off to the Junkrat himself. So it's good here. He's checking all the possible ways he can go. He sees the team. He's calling it good spam here. Good time to use his tire. He gets the one off it, a good sport kill. But the shatter was big. It was really big from Chiefy. So and that's why Team 2 is going to win this, whereas in Team 1 only got to use two of their ultimates in that fight. It was just a really big individual play from Chiefy that gave Team 2 the win on the attack. Now, Supercrusher is going to start here on Genji. It's a really good pick for Point A Anubis. Many pros like to play it. A lot of sight lines and a lot of ways to flank. He's going to get trapped in Junkrat traps. After his support goes down, he's going to die instantly. That just seems like poor awareness from T1. No one checked for the trap, especially when they saw the Junkrat. That's the place the trap goes. And now Chuckles is going to go down to T1. This should be a full fight. I'm actually going to play stupid here and get picked right at the end. But, and in theory, this should be a one fight for Team 1. As I am down, I am just respawning, and the rest of Team 1 is here. Much, much faster than I can get here. We're going to use their immortality on to get through. And Supercrusher is going to engage him before his team does, which is a huge mistake. If we want to back up a second, we can see that his team, if you can kind of see it, is still in that corridor. They're still in that attacker's left side corridor. They hadn't engaged yet, which means that he just staggers himself out, makes it a 5v6, because by this time I am back. He needed to wait a second, a few seconds even, to engage for the rest of his team to be there. And then both DPS are down, and Shotaro goes down, Immortality is used. It's a huge shatter with Hydra Cross, opens the flank right up. That should have been a long fight. This feels to me like a waste of a play. Because, yes, he gets 2 kills off of it, but if we back up here, yes, Hydra Frost is down, but so is Chiefy and essentially Salt Shaker, which means, so, no tanks, your tanks are out of the fight, which means you have, and I believe Immortality was already popped, so you have 4 squishies left. This should just be an easy cleanup. And Dragon Blade is extremely good for cracking open a second point, because if you go in with that offensive ultimate, perhaps say with this grab that you have, you use those 2 ultimates, and then you end up with a 5-minute time bank, which is much better than Team 2 did. So to me, this, while it does get kills, I think this Dragon Blade was wasted. He's gonna get Bob May's going here. He gets a kill, but he's also gonna go down. It was already a long lost fight, but not the worst. So Supercrusher is going to stick on the Genji, which without Blade, most professional teams wouldn't do. So again, he's a bit ahead of his team, but that's fun. He's going to go in for Bob May here. I don't know how he quite loses him, but it's just unfortunate. Nothing lost. It's a little bit low. There's the grab. But they didn't pull out the immortality at all. And the 3K tire. It's a good follow up on the GPs. But all in all, they using the Graviton Surge and the Barrage on the engage might not have been the smartest thing to do without trying to pull out that immortality field. So Supercrusher's gonna have Blade again. It was definitely a good fight for him. He got quite a bit of charge. He's gonna have it for this fight. Unfortunate hit. And with that, this should be a 1-5-2-2, but Cyclops just goes absolutely insane. Gets a bunch of kills. That Blade did essentially nothing, because he used it while the immortality field was still up. He needed to wait a second. Granted, they're going to side anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. But it was just a little bit of a, how do I say this? He got like way too impatient with that Blade. They are going to count here. They're going to have 13 seconds left, or 13 seconds less than Team 2, which means they'll be on defense first.
경기를 시작합니다.
So. Oh, my mistake. They're on attack first. He's gonna stick with this Genji, which is fine. And Team 1 is going to try Team 2's patented just go right strategy. Supercrusher's gonna get burned here. It's unfortunate he doesn't get the kick on an 888. And nothing you can do there. The rest of his team dies around him. And at this point, this should just be a disengage. Because he's gonna die here. So is Hydra Frost. They're gonna, and Chocolate's gonna fight in. And he's going to respawn much, much later than the rest of his team. With only 35% of a Blade here, and about a minute left, you might be considering a switch here. I believe he gets a Blade before the end of the fight, but he should definitely be considering, or he should have considered a switch going into this fight. Because at this point, you are relying on this Dragon Blade to get multiple kills to crack this open. It's a good spot on him. He goes around the backside. He's engaging before the rest of his team again. And he goes to point, he goes for the health pack. And he gets the support from Chuckles, but fortunately it is a lost fight here. And in my opinion, he should have tried to die already, because this Blade does nothing. And while they were hoping, and while they were waiting, or by sticking on the Genji, that Dragon Blade was their win condition. That's how they were going to win this fight. And now there is no Dragon Blade. He used it. Granted, he wouldn't have gotten back in a fight like this, but I think he should have died earlier and held on to the Dragon Blade. Because now the best Team 1 can do is a draw on Team 2's attack. They got no progress on the point. And of course, Team 1 is going to go for the cheese comp with a Bastion here. This is exactly what he should be, spamming down those chokes, spamming down the corridors. He gets 2 picks. Salt Shaker was a little bit separate, and he's actually going to, I believe, go in on the Bastion here, which is a questionable decision to going alone with the stagger. But a good kill on the last one. And he's doing a good job focusing down the players that are separated, as the rest of his team deals with the players on point. When it's over, he's getting good pressure because there's no shield, there's no D.Va. He uses his ultimate here, which I would say is, for the most part, a good ultimate. His team was starting to lose numbers. He gets 3 off of this, but he is going to fall right now. So with the Cyclops going down, and then eventually Slayer, man, that's going to be game. Team 2 was able to hide out in that high room that they were hiding in, instead of engaging or pulling back, and it essentially creates a hammer and anvil where the tanks come back in afterwards and hit them from behind, and by then the rest of the team, all the squishies that were on point, have respawned from dying, and once your Orisa and Bastion go down, that's a loss. Overall, I'd say it was pretty good play. Some weird flanks, but nothing absurd. And yeah, overall, pretty good.